I got the receipts, girl. You know I got the receipts. Cellars is the monthly wine club that matches you with wine that you'll love. Get started by taking the Taste Palette quiz to see your personalized matches. Now, Bright Cellars matches you with wines from all over the world, curated to your taste buds. They are focused on finding unique hidden gems from small vineyards all over the world. And with hundreds of private label wines, you'll be able to try a new wine you've never tasted before. All you need to do is take their 7-question quiz so they can gather your taste preferences and deliver wines you're guaranteed to love. Each box is completely unique to your taste palette, meaning no box is ever the same. Each box comes with wine education cards for each bottle that outline the tasting notes, suggested pairings, best serving temperatures, and its origins. Wine wisdom cards help show you how to store and open your wine, keeping it tasting fresh for longer. Now, all Sweet Pea Diaries viewers will get 60% off your first purchase by clicking on the link in the description box below. Thanks again to Bright Cellars Wines for sponsoring this video. Okay, guys. Welcome back to the Sweet Pea Diaries. It's your girl, Sweet Pea, and I am back with another video. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. And if you are a new subscriber, welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. Be sure to like this video, share this video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Now, y'all know what time it is. Okay, now, if you guys can hear me, please let me know. I am so sorry about that. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I see that we have Woe in the chat. We got Love James 28. We have Andre Mills, Mimi Twin, Keisha Cellars, Eclipse, Sabrina Creations, Monica Reyna, my moderator, Tanja J, Cynthia Face, Hey Dijon Maya, my member, Who But Me Jazz, Zion, Erica, Carla, Kisby, and I see that someone named Eva has sent a bunch of her subscribers over here, and please let me know who Queen Eva is. Thank you so much, sis, for sending your viewers and your subscribers over here. I welcome all of you. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the Sweet Pea Diaries. We got Nikki Gaines Experience, we got Kim Cavalli, Erica, Centel. We have a lot of people in the building. Thank you guys for coming in. Cynthia says, I love your braids. Thank you so much. Who's Queen Eva? Sun Goddess, hey Mimi, hey Rita. Please, Eva with the T. Thank you, Eva. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, join, all that good stuff, and go over there and check out Eva. I'll be over there after this broadcast. Hey, Bonita. Hey, Brianna. Yeah, I will thank you, Eva. Neek, hey. So, you guys, we have breaking news. We have exclusive information. It seems as though we were all waiting for the update that Jen was possibly going to be filing a new case in California once the jurisdiction issues had was an issue for New York and all of that, it was said and thought that she was going to be filing her case in California. Well, an insider, y'all know that I get the tea. You guys know that people keep me abreast of what's going on with this case. And I got exclusive information that is coming from Jen's camp. Exclusively, I seen the DMs, okay? I cannot show them because it is private, but the source asked me to not show the DMs. But this came exclusively from Jen's camp. She has upped the ante and will be, it looks like she has filed criminal charges in Georgia. You heard it here first on the Sweet Pea Diaries. She has upped the ante and criminal charges are being filed. Well, they've already been filed. We just need to wait to see them. But the DM that I saw, it is exclusively from Jen herself, and she filed criminal charges already in Georgia. So we are waiting. We're going to be waiting to get that information and see it when it enters into the court system. She did this last week. All right. So you heard it here first on the Sweet Pea Diaries. Jennifer Hough has filed criminal charges in this case. I do not know if it is specifically against Nicki Minaj or just Kenny or both, but criminal charges have been filed. I don't know why Georgia. I do not know. That is what I saw. The DM said that they have upped the ante and criminal charges were filed last week in Georgia. That's what it said. So I wanted to be able to show you the DMs, you guys, but I can't. Please respect that and please honor that. Not all the time sources do they want to be, revealed, because they get this information from people directly. They get it directly from the horse's mouth, and you can't break that trust, So I told the source I would not reveal it. I have the DM. It's in my DM. I have it. But I don't know. People are asking, why were they filed in Georgia? I don't know. I don't have that. Don't know. All I know is they were filed in Georgia. That's exactly what the DM said. I will read it. I will read it. Eva Duh on Station Head. Okay. Only one Shamari. Thank you. I will check it out. The DM reads, yep, they have upped the ante. They upped the ante. I did file criminal charges last week in Georgia, waiting to hear back as far as how they're going to proceed with this, with the charges and all, and with their case. But she says, I did file criminal charges last week in Georgia. So you heard it here first. I'm not going to show the DM because, I can't break that trust. But absolutely, criminal charges have been filed. Thank you so much, you guys, for the compliments about my hair. I appreciate it. I don't know if she filed a police report first. I don't know, but that is what it says. All right. Now, we have an update. It looks as though Kenneth Petty, the New York, you guys remember that he filed a lawsuit against the state of New York saying that his rights were violated, and whatever the reasoning was for it. But it looks like his case is going to be dismissed. Now, you guys know that New York, they moved to file a dismissal. Kenny had a certain time to respond to it and did not respond. So it looks like that case is going to be dismissed. And here is the tea on that. Let me make this a little bigger so everyone can read along with me. All right. It says in front of the Honorable Eric Committee, Kenneth Petty versus the State of New York. This office represents defendants, State of New York, and the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services in the above referenced action. Pursuant to the court's January 4th, 2022 order, the defendants served their motion to dismiss On February 3rd, 2022, the court further directed that the plaintiff serve his opposition by March 7th, 2022, and directed that defendant serve a reply by March 17th, 2022. No opposition has been served on this office or filed on the docket. Accordingly, defendants respectfully request that the court deem defendant's motion to dismiss submitted without opposition. We thank the court for its consideration in this matter. So what does that mean to you guys? If you do not respond, that's going to mean that it's going to be granted. It probably more than likely will be granted. The dismissal will be granted. He did not respond. It is now the 24th of March. He did not respond. So usually it's the same thing like it was with the default, with the summary judgment. When you don't, with the, not summary judgment, but the default, when you do not answer to a lawsuit, if you don't answer, usually they enter you the winner by default. And that's what happened with Kenneth Petty. They issued the default judgment, and they didn't enter in against Nicki Minaj, but they entered in against Kenneth Petty. So they're saying with this too, he didn't respond to this motion to dismiss. He had until March 7th, he didn't, and we would like for you to dismiss this case. So generally what happens, what's going to happen with Kenny is that because you guys know he did not register as an S offender in California, and this is what was the whole situation with him anyway, if they're going to throw that out in New York, that his rights, were violated and that he was trying to get that a thing, so that way his whole S offender situation would be null and void. Well, if that's thrown out of the court and now you're standing as an S offender, then what is happening in California will allow them to go ahead and move forward with their case, which is why if you jump on over to the California documents and look at the updates from there, you also see that there have been some recent movements. There have been some documents filed, and it looks like California is now stating, hey, okay, we're ready to move with this. Well, he was trying to get, wanting to get things postponed, wanting them to slow down a minute, and he got it postponed until June because he was waiting on a letter back from California, which would dictate what his offender level, what the status was on that. And I'm going to show you this document because what it was that he was trying to do was he's trying to essentially get it thrown out in California, get his status thrown out. So if the status is either, knocked down a level or terminated or whatever, then they don't have a case. It's like he's in one end in New York, he was trying to get it thrown, get this, sue them and get this S offender registry thing, not a thing. And then in California, he's trying to use their laws and system in his favor as well. And the only thing I could do is read it to you and show it to you. So just have patience. We're going to read it so that you can understand what it is that I'm talking about. Now, if there is a delay, I am so sorry. But just bear with me because sometimes there is a delay between my program and YouTube. So just, bear with me, but I'm going to read and show you these documents and you can judge for yourself. And then we also have the original, matter of fact, let's look at those first because this is what New York is using to want to dismiss this case. All right, let's back it up a bit and let's show you why New York is confident that they can have this thrown out. Okay, let's look at that. All right, so these documents are in regards to Kenneth wanting his case thrown out in New York. All right. And what they are stating is that they want this dismissed because his claims are barred by the 11th Amendment. The point two is his claim that he did not receive due process because he did not have notice of his 2004 SORA hearing is frivolous. Plaintiff's attempt to challenge his 2004 SOAR hearing is obviously untimely. Plaintiff's claims are barred by collateral estoppel and Rooker-Feldman. That's like some type of, case that they're referring to, a doctrine that they're referring to. Usually this is what lawyers will do. They'll refer to something that is historic and say, according to this, this is an instance when this was followed. So we need to use this, and we're going to go by this instance for this case as well. Usually they do that in court. So they said, in conclusions, for the reasons said above, defendants respectfully request that the court grant their motion to dismiss in its entirety and grant such other relief as the court deems just and proper. So they use as Exhibit A, they bring in from 2004 the actual sworn hearing and what was stated during those proceedings. So the court says, indictment 4521 of 94 Kenneth Petty, appearances please. Miss Bishop, Lee Bishop for the people. Miss Michelson, legal aid by Jennifer Michelson. The clerk, he asked Kenny, you are Kenny Petty? And Kenneth says, yes, sir. The clerk says, thank you. The court says, yes. Then Miss Michelson says, good afternoon, Judge. Miss Bishop says, I think we have conference with Miss Michelson, and I don't think there is going to be a challenge to a level 2 finding here, which is what the original board report in the court file reflects. The court says yes. Miss Michelson says, this matter has been on February 9th of 98. The defendant had appeared before the court at the time he declined counsel. But of course, based upon the federal disposition of these matters, we are required to revisit the matter, defendant having the right to counsel and the right to appeal. But as I look at the risk assessment instrument that was the basis for the prior ruling, the score came out to the upper limit of level 2. Even if there were any reductions anywhere along the line, it would still seem to be a level 2 no matter what, based upon the nature of the crime to which he pled guilty and the history of the defendant. So we're not going to contest it. I have spoken to the defendant and I've explained to him what's happening here, and he is satisfied with the level 2. So this is Kenny's representation speaking to the court. To sum that up, she spoke with Kenny, explained to him in 2004 that his score came out to upper limit of level 2. All right, given the fact that he pled guilty and the history of him, that's what they came up with, explained it to him, and he was satisfied with the level 2. The court says, based upon the score, we're limited by the standings they have set, and based upon that, I was satisfied back in February of 98 that it was a proper assessment. That being the case, our hearing is concluded, and Mr. Petty shall be assessed as a risk level 2. Is there any instrument that or finding or any papers that have to be prepared based upon that? The clerk has that right, and the clerk says yes. The court, so an order shall issue. Do we do it now? The clerk says we do it now. It's done. And the court says let it be written, and the clerk says let it be done. So at that time, he did not object. He was in court. He was there at those proceedings. So was it said somewhere that he was not aware of this 2004 SORNA hearing, that he didn't know anything about it? Well, it appears that he was there. December 14th, 2004. This hearing is against Kenny Petty. And the clerk is speaking, Miss Bishop, Miss Michelson, the clerk, the defendant. All of these people are present. The defendant says, yes, sir. The clerk says, you are Kenny Petty. And he says, yes, sir. So I thought somewhere, I don't know, please correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, it's been a while since I've done this update and really looked at this case, but I could have sworn that the argument was that Kenny said his rights were violated. He didn't live, he was not at his place of the Inwood or whatever, and that he was in jail and he didn't know nothing about this proceeding, and they deemed him level 2 without his knowledge. I thought that was the story. I thought that was the story. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that was the story. Okay, is that correct? Toiletisha says you are correct. Hey, Itsy Bitsy. I thought that's what the narrative was. Well, we are seeing in these court transcripts that Kenny was there. He was present. They said, you are Kenny Petty. The defendant says, yes, sir. So this is what New York is using as evidence to get this case thrown out, that his rights were not violated. He was actually there. They said that he was in jail. Well, he was actually there. He was present. They read all of this in front of him. He did not object. In fact, his counsel said that she explained this to him, explained the level 2 and what it meant, and he had no objections. Well, this is proving that he was there. So I wanted to bring this out because that's an important piece of evidence. And then you want to flip on over to California, where he was pulled over. He was driving, he got with Nicki and got married. He done moved on up in the world and feels as though he didn't need to register as an ex offender. He did not need to register. He's now with a celebrity. His life, his past is not a thing because now he has money and it's not a thing. Well, California said, I don't think so. You are an ex offender. You are required to register. So they now have a case against him. Okay. So he has asked for a continuance. Plaintiff against the United States, Kenneth Petty. Okay. Defendant has conferred with the government, and due to the issues described below, respectfully requests that the sentencing proceeding be continued from March 30th, 2020 at 1:30 to May 31st, 2020 at 1:30. So they were supposed to be having, court for this next week. Well, they got it postponed because now it will be June 1st. But let's just read it. The government does not oppose the request. This is the party's second stipulation to continue the sentencing proceedings. The parties make this request in good faith and not for unnecessary delay. The defense is planning on submitting an expert report in this matter. The defense has notified the government about the plan to use an expert report for the purposes of sentencing. The defense needs additional time for the defendant to confer with the expert and for this report to be completed. Further, the defense needs time to potentially pursue state court remedies for the defendant with respect to his ex offender registration tier status in California under the relevant sections of the California Penal Code, including sections 290 and 290.5. These remedies could be relevant to sentencing, and the defense wishes further time to pursue all available avenues of relief for the defendant. Now, this is important. Pay attention to this next sentence because then I'm going to show you the paperwork and their angle that Kenny is now trying to come to beat this. The defense recently received a letter designating defendant's California registration tier. The tier designation letter. The tier designation letter was needed to pursue the state court remedies. Given these issues, the parties respectfully stipulate in good faith to a brief continuance of the sentencing date. So, what is a tier designation letter? What does that mean? Now, this is the angle, what he's trying to do here. The California Department of Justice, California Justice Information Services as offender registry. And this is as it pertains to the tier designation. All right. What is it? Now, tiers are designated in accordance with criteria specified in the penal code. All right. You have tier 1, 10 years. Tier 2, 20 years. Tier 3, risk assessment level, 20 years. Tier 3, lifetime. So please refer to the penal code as amended for additional information. It says, what are the mandatory minimum registration periods for individuals who are adjudicated of their registered offenses in juvenile court? Tier 1, 5 years. Tier 2, 10 years. What is considered when determining whether I have met my mandatory minimum registration period? And they explain all of that. Who determines my tier designation? They tell you who determines that. Will I be notified my tier designation? That's what Kenny wrote to California to find out what his tier designation would be, because he's trying to find out, given his crimes in New York, is he going to fall under tier 1, tier 2, tier 3? Is it going to be lifetime? This means how long they have to stay on the registry list. So because California has different laws and requirements, he's trying to figure out what his designation would be, because he really wants to see if he can get this terminated. All right? Because that's what this paperwork further, if you go down, it says, who grants or denies a petition for termination? Can the court deny a petition without holding a hearing? What would make me automatically ineligible to the petition? So California has a clause where you can apply for your status to be revoked, terminated. Like maybe you've I don't know what they would use to determine whether they would do it or not. But they have reasons that you would automatically be ineligible and they wouldn't even hear. And that would be if you have not met your minimum mandatory registration period. There are pending charges against you, which could extend the time to complete your tier or change your tier. You are in custody. You are on parole, probation, or supervised release. You are a tier 3 lifetime registrant, or you have not fulfilled the filing and service requirements. So some of these things I think he's already dealing with. He has charges against him with Jen, a case. Him and Nicki had that concert abroad or whatever, and they beat the security guard up. You guys remember, we covered that. They have pending charges for that. They're being investigated. Kenny's being investigated for that. He is on parole, probation, or supervised release. Is he not on parole, probation, or something for other charges and other things that he's done? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that he was on some type of probation, parole, or something for things that he's done. I mean, didn't he have, the M word and jackets, that are on his, those type of things that are on his jacket as well, the M word. So there might be things that he's already dealing with that will make him automatically ineligible to overturn and terminate his tier status. So that is why he was waiting on this, whatever came in the mail, and I don't have that. They don't show that. They didn't enter that in on the docket, what his actual tier is, and if he, what his status is on the termination, what the status is, where he is in that legal process. We don't have any of that. But once I read this update and seen that he was waiting on the tier determination letter and he got that, I did the research and I'm like, okay, I see what it is that he's trying to do, because he's trying to find out what is his tier status in California, and can't have I been on the S offender registry long enough to meet the qualifications for removal. You've been on it already for 10 years, 10, 15, depending on your, you know, offender status. Okay, you're level 2 in New York. Does that equate tier 2 in California? You know, so it's probably all types of things that they are looking into to see if it, you know, makes sense for it to be terminated. But that's the angle that he is trying to. He sees that in New York. They're getting ready to throw that out. They're getting ready to dismiss that because he said that he was not there. He said he didn't know anything about that. And here it is. They went and got the transcripts to show that he was, in fact, there. He was, in fact, there, and he knew about it. You are Kenny Petty, the clerk says. You are Kenny Petty, the defendant. Yes, sir. So, oop. It's giving liar, liar, pants on fire. So you guys let me know what you think about this. It is a shocking update to say the least. Okay, we have just proven and showed the transcripts that Kenny is lying as usual. Does not surprise us. I mean, but they've been lying this whole time. And now Jen has upped the ante and has filed criminal charges in Georgia. So you guys let me know. What do you think? Where is this going? Where is this headed? And what do you think the criminal charges are for? I mean, we have harassment, intimidation. You know, she's claiming that she was harassed and they intimidated her. They want her to recant her story. And now she's filed criminal charges. So you guys let me know what you think about this. Please drop down in the comments if you catch the replay. I'm interested to know what you are thinking about this. But in any event, I want you guys, no matter what side you're on, what side of the fence you are on, this woman has been through an event with Kenny. It is obvious. We looked at on the California, the information that they have in their system, that there was an event that did occur, that there was a weapon that was used. He has admitted that he did do this by pleading guilty, by taking a plea deal. And now we're seeing that he lied and said that he did not know that he was given level 2 status, but he was actually there. So you guys let me know. What do you think about this? Jen is indeed a victim. If she, you know, is saying that she was intimidated, that they harassed her, that they want to get her to recant her story. She was offered money, all of these things. Let this woman have her day in court and let her do what it is that she feels she needs to do to get her justice. Who are we to tell her that she don't have a right to do that? You know, as the public, a lot of this is tried out in the court of public opinion, and we all have our opinion about it. No matter which side of the fence you're on, if you are a woman, you should be standing on the side of truth, and you want the woman to get her just due. You want her to be able to have her day in court, to be able to have her say so, to be able to look her, you know, her accuser in the eye and say, you did this to me, this is what you've done to me, this is what you and your wife did to me, and you need to be held accountable for it if this is what it's giving. If that's what they did, they need to be held accountable for it, period. All right, so Nicki is bothering this one again. So let's look at the comments. Let's see what people are saying. Let's see. And then we are going to get up out of here because we have another update to cover. We're going to jump right into it because we have a couple court cases going on that you guys needed updates on. So let's see what we have in the chat. Let's see. How y'all feeling tonight? I see you guys are in here thick, and I really appreciate it. All right, let's see. Okay. Tanja says harassment is like stalking and is not pretty. It literally breaks a person. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see. Let's get these comments up. Take a few comments and then we up out of here, you guys. I mean, I really try to um, understand what it is that they are trying to accomplish with this, but you lie and eventually your lies are going to catch up with you. If you were in court and you say that you weren't there, I don't know why you don't think that transcripts are going to surface and they're going to be able to prove that you were there. This doesn't make any sense to me. Stand with Jen. Kenny is a liar and he thinks Nicki's fame will protect him. Mm-hmm. All right, so I don't think that I think let's see if we can get these. Sometimes I have an issue with this darn program. Okay. Where is Jen's proof? Where is Jen's proof that they harassed her? Well, we did go over that in previous videos. She did show and provide evidence that I think she had, what was it that she showed? Was it messages? I think the correspondence between, or the conversation between Black, her, and Nicki. I'm really not sure, but we read things in the transcripts, but we really didn't have much, because just as quick as they started, it stopped because she dropped the case. So she trying to find a state that will lie for her. Thank you, CR. He said the mic is low. Okay, I'm trying to turn it up a little bit. Let me know if that's a little better. Doesn't Nicki live in Cali? Yes, she does. There was no damn proof, ma'am. Stop lying. I'm not lying. I said that's what they had in the court documents. That's what was in the exhibits. I don't know what she was going to show or what proof she was going to show, because they didn't get to the discovery phase. Jen is the only one who has provided proof. Nicki admitted to calling her. You sound stupid. I was just going to get to that. Remember when Nicki was saying that there was no communication, or that there was no phone call, or that she didn't communicate with Jen. And then when they brought that out in the transcripts, we did see that Nicki said, well, she did speak to her and that she was just doing what any wife would do. So, Hot Shot Radio in the building. She ain't lying, you slow garbs. Tell him, King. So will Kenny go to jail? Yes, more than likely. Yep. Exactly. States do not lie for people. Yes, he's suing New York, and that is what we just proved that is going to be dismissed. He had until the 7th to respond, and he did not. So New York is moving to dismiss the case. And it's actually going to be dismissed because he stated that he didn't know anything about the 2004 SORNA hearing, but we just exposed that he was actually there and he was in court. Okay, so if you didn't see that, we'll show it again. We show that one last time, and then we're up out of here so we can talk about the blogger lady. We can talk about her update. All right, so here is the transcript. Kenny was actually there. Says, you are Kenny Petty? He says, yes, sir. Okay, his representative says that she explained to him that he's a level 2 offender, explained what it meant, and he had no opposition. So it was a pretty open and shut proceeding. So this is definitely what the state of New York is using to throw his case out. You can't lie, and then when you are exposed for lying, I mean, you guys, acknowledge it. You won't even acknowledge that. I get and I understand that if you don't like Jen, you just don't like her. But acknowledge the lie. The lie was told. He said he wasn't there, and he was. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge the lie. What do you have to say about that? What do you have to say about that? All right? Let me know. Let me know about that. What is your take on that? Kenny said that he was not there. He said he was not there. But we just proved that he was there. So please give me an explanation for that. What's the explanation for that? That's a bold-faced lie. I don't know why you would tell a lie like that knowing that there's transcripts. You were in court, sir. You were at the proceeding. I don't see anyone. I'm asking you. I asked. He said he wasn't there. Now, it is obvious he was. So please let me know, what is the answer for that? What you guys' rebuttal for that? It's in the documents. Exactly. Bring the receipts for all of it. It's there. Okay, so whether or not, I'm not sure. So she is suing Kenny or Nicki or Kenneth. So she is suing Nicki or Kenneth. I am not sure. I don't know what the distinction is. All it said is that criminal charges are being filed. They were filed in Georgia last week. I read the DM out loud. I can't show it. I'm not going to, break the trust of my source, but that is what she filed criminal charges in Georgia last week. She did not make a distinction in that DM whether or not it was just specifically Nicki or specifically Kenny. We don't know, and we're not going to put out a false narrative. I'm not sure. All I know, the text said, the DM said that she filed criminal charges in Georgia last week. They have upped the ante. It is not just now a civil case. It has now been upped to criminal. So that's all I have. That's all I have, you guys. We can't make it draw out more than what it is. That is what it is. That is our update. You guys be sure to like this video, share the video, but most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll keep an update, keep an eye on it, and we'll give you the updates as we hear more, see more. Again, as the documents become available, we'll read them. But there you have it. There's an exclusive tea. Kenneth Petty was at the 2004 SORNA hearing. He knew all about the level 2. It was explained to him, and he accepted it. Case is going to be thrown out in New York, period. And Kenny's going to go to jail. It just is what it is. And then I've seen rumors not rumors, but we saw receipts. Hot Shot posted them on Instagram, and I also got the DM from the same source that it seems that Nicki Minaj has unfollowed Kenny's sister, as well as members of their little, group. I don't want to say the G word, but group. It seems like she's unfollowing people left and right. Like she's trying to disconnect herself from that camp. I see she's out here working, doing videos, trying to get her album sales and her song sales and record sales. She's trying to get out here and work and do her thing. And she must be separating herself from these, from the Garbage Pail Kids. So I believe that it is what it is, that Kenny is on his way to jail. That's what it looks like to me. Kenny is on his way to jail. Don't be surprised when you see all on the blogs or you see it in the news that he went on to jail, that he exited stage left, because that's what it's giving. It's looking like he's going to jail. Okay. I mean, what else is going to happen? Hey, you're supposed to register as an S offender. That's what it boils down to. You guys, take accountability. He was supposed to register. He got with Nicki Minaj. He thought that he was above the law. He thought that the law did not apply to him. And, because she's a celebrity. and he's now her husband. So it doesn't apply to people with money. California said, no, it don't work like that. We need to know around here who are S offenders, and we need to know what's going on. You were doing it all this time, all these years, you were registered. I'm living in California with my rich celebrity wife, and now I don't have to register. No, that is not how the law works. Take accountability, you guys. That's what he was supposed to do, and he didn't do it. Period. Period. That's what this is all about. He was supposed to register, and he did not. If this was someone else, if it was anyone else, y'all would be, oh, he was supposed, that's the law. It's because it's your fave. And she should even have put herself, she had nothing to do with this. She should not have inserted herself in this trouble that he was in with Jen. That had nothing to do with her. She should have stayed out of that. It had nothing to do with her. Don't start unfollowing people now and trying to distance yourself from the shit now. That's what you should have did from the beginning, from the start. It had nothing to do with you. She see that was affecting her. What do you think all these press going and doing these interviews and doing these radio interviews and podcast interviews and all of this now is giving rebranding strategy. I'm trying to rebrand because when I put out songs and when I put out projects, it's not going number one. It's not going viral. Nobody's checking for me because you've attached yourself to this bum, to this criminal. That's what you should have been done from the start. Your manager and the people that handle you, your team, should have told you this from the start. You should not have connected yourself. You wanted to marry the man, you wanted to marry him, go ahead and do that. But you didn't have to mix your business life, with his criminal life. Period. So it is all calculated. These interviews, these podcast shows, doing features with everyone, with the little artists and all of this. It is all calculated. It's called rebranding. It's called PR 101. All right. So you guys be sure to like this video, share the video. Most importantly, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back in a little bit to do the Tasha K Cardi B update. Honey, Tasha done filed an appeal, but just because she filed an appeal, does that mean that she will have her day in court? Will she have an appeal? What are her chances? Can she win? Will she have to pay Cardi B? Catch me on my next video. That's scheduled for 9 o'clock. I'll see you guys in a minute. Bye.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boy. Check the mic, make sure it sound